I'm going to take the risk and let's zoom in on that interior now. Oh, there we go. And look how massive this car is. And this is also another thing that I wasn't able to show you last time. Welcome to CarSceneKorea. I introduce newly released Genesis Hyundai and Kia cars. And if you have watched my earlier or the first all new 2026 Hyundai Palisade video, you guys are familiar with this intro, me shooting inside the car, poor lighting, and I apologize for that. Well, because as you saw from the thumbnail, I spotted another all new Palisade, but a different color that I have not met before. The first one I spotted was the Abyss Black Pearl. It was also a non-calligraphy trim. This time, as you saw from the thumbnail, I did spot a calligraphy trim finally. For your information, I actually did pre-order the all-new Hyundai Palisade fully loaded model together with the hybrid and all-wheel drive or H-Track for Hyundai. I did include everything, literally everything that I can with that car. And also, it's the shimmering silver, if I recall the name correctly. And guess what? Well, you guys already saw it from the thumbnail, right? So I did spot this silver one. And now looking at the photo, I actually was confused. So it actually is the white color that has creamy white pearl on the outside. I was actually mistaken and confused. Well, because as you can see, it actually has two colors of what I've mentioned. It does have the creamy white pearl, mostly. There is also shimmery silver metallic at the bottom as well. And that's because it's a pre-production model that is still undergoing tests. And the reason why it doesn't have any camos on, unlike the other test cars, is because Hyundai actually did officially launch and debut this all-new Palisade. Again, it is available for pre-orders here in Korea, and it's not going to be all that long until the deliveries are to be made. However, the launch event, the media press day, is actually taking longer than I anticipated. Well, it is what it is. It should not be that long, but again, it gave me a good reason and excuse for me to drive down here again and spot my second all-new Hyundai Palisade. It's actually my first time doing this, and I gotta say, I actually do enjoy doing it. Well, it's because I am inside this 2026 Kia EV6 GT facelift, and it is just so much fun to drive. I actually did shoot a video on the car already, so feel free to check it out. But without further ado, let's head outside and meet that all new 2026 Hyundai Palisade. Do not be confused about the two-tone exterior. It is the creamy white pearl mostly with shimmering silver metallic at the bottom. The car will never come in two-tone, any combinations like that. So please, please, please do not be confused. That will be the last thing that manufacturers want, confuse the prospective buyers and customers. So again, no two-tone exterior, no two-tone colors. It is one whole unified color all throughout, regardless of the color you choose. So please highlight that. Do not confuse yourself. And lastly, the reason why I came here again and decided that I would do a video on it is because this car is without tint. I can actually see the entire interior finally with proper lighting. Long intro as always. I mean, if you know, you know. And you see, that is the car that I pre-ordered, right? So let's go meet that car like right now. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I give it to you. 2026 all-new Hyundai Palisade. As I have said, this is creamy white pearl exterior mainly, and the front bumper, for some reason, probably for the testing purpose and everything, it has the shimmering silver metallic front bumper and the rear bumper to it. Not sure. Right, so the side skirts is pretty much the same, and I'll be very discreet about the shooting today for the obvious reason. I am on a wide public parking lot, as you can see, so it's really difficult for me to turn on the lighting and do a full intensive review on it. And this is the calligraphy trim. How do I know? Well, first and foremost, there are 5 DRLs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? But this is not a DRL, part of the bumper design, but it actually flows together with that overall DRL, making it look beautiful. I will insert the regular model on the screen right now so you guys get a good idea of how they look and differ. That is pretty much a must when it comes to the front look of this, because that bumper design alone completes that DRL. So it is very different from the base model or non-calligraphy trim that I have spotted last time. With the calligraphy trim, when the DRLs are lit up, this portion actually also is lit up together. And I will include the B-roll shot by Short's car. Big props to him. He allowed me to use his footage. Therefore, I am able to show you what the car looks like when it's all lit up. So that, you can say, is the seamless horizon lamp, a penetrating design language and theme from latest Hyundai cars. So that lights up together with the DRL. That one is not, it's just a part of the bumper design, but it does look amazing with all the DRLs turned on. And that one is the headlight. That one is the high beam. And this is also another thing that I wasn't able to show you last time. That is, you see more of that cladding design together with this creamy white pearl. Because last time when I spotted the Abyss Black Pearl, that highlight and design accent was a little difficult to spot, but it's not the case anymore. So you actually do see more of a fenders and highlights. So you see more of that on this wheel arch and cladding. You see that design, something that we were not able to see with the Abyss Black Pearl last time I spotted the first Palisade. And also last time I did miss out a little bit about this details on the door handle. Oh, and yes, you see it is touch sensitive when it comes to the calligraphy trim, as I did mention, and it was a button type for lower trims, but it is the touch sensitive, as we can see. You can take this off. There probably is a slot for the physical car key. I am zooming on the things that I missed out last time, and certainly it is that wheels that I did not spot last time. I actually want to save this turning on the light for the interior just in case I get kicked out, but I don't know, I'm just gonna do it now. You guys couldn't see anything, could you? So that is the wheelhouse that I told you about. The wheels, that is the calligraphy trim wheels. And what size are they? 265, 45, 21. And what the wheelhouses and suspensions look like. And the car's being undergoing tests, as you can see. So it's a bit dirty. And so please do keep in mind that the bumper is not going to come in as a two-tone. It is just a solid one full color for the color you choose. So the brake pads and calipers and front design, you see it all for yourself. So the turbine looking wheels and all the exteriors and interior detail, I did cover and tell you about it on my first Palisade video, so please refer to that. So there's nothing for the second row handle, unfortunately. There's one for the passenger seat as well, that touch sensitive. And that is the view of the side mirrors and the gigantic turn signals, and that portion also does light up. A flag type glass, meaning that it's been attached onto the door instead of being attached on the A-pillar, which makes a huge difference when it comes to safety because there is less blind spot created. And I did mention that on multiple times on my channel. That is something that you do feel and experience the moment you hop inside the car and drive this car. It's always a plus to any car. The less blind spot there is, it's always the better. It's especially the case with this big size SUV like Palisade. That flag type glass alone probably prevented a lot of accidents around the globe. So let's go to the rear. And I need to catch my breath. I apologize. It just, I try to keep my voice down and also in trying to get this footage at the same time. It's really difficult. The tail light, something that we did see before. The rear bumper design is definitely different from the one that I spotted for the first time because the car is calligraphy trim. There is a diffuser-like design towards the end at the bottom, as you can see, with the reflector. And that is the reverse light, what the car looks like underneath. So it is the multi-link for the rear suspensions, So the sensors and reflectors and the bumpers. So the takeaway here is the different rear bumper design, I would say. So what color do you prefer though? The white one on the top or the silver? The one that I pre-ordered. I want to give you the profile, the side view and the look of the car. And look how massive this car is. I mean, yeah, Korea does not necessarily have the largest parking lot in the world, but the place I am in, it actually does have quite big size of parking lot, given that it's Korean parking lot. Palisade being the largest and the flagship SUV of Hyundai cars fits into this parking lot like a monster. For your information, the car on the left is Staria. That is also the largest car you can get from Hyundai, actually. That is another big MPV. That is a big car, by the way. And a lot about the exterior details, the design, I did go over on my first review video. So please refer to that. I'm going to take the risk and let's zoom in on that interior now. So, yep. Can't see much. All that crazy reflection. I can't see anything, but just give me 1 second. Not sure if this is going to make any difference, but that is when I have my smartphone right against the window. Oh, there we go. Yes, it works. So this is also a 9-seater, as you can see. And I think I'm going to take the screenshot like this and do a voiceover because it's going to be very difficult for me to just stand right next to this car and go over the details. So this is the second row seat and the third row seat. All right, guys, I am back inside the car. Well, number one, it's quite cold outside. And number two, I am not trespassing. Just so you know, I'm not trespassing. And this is a place where everybody can literally come into. However, there's a good chance I might get kicked out if you guys saw how wide this parking lot is. I look like a complete stranger, right? Just having the lights on and just talking all by myself outside. So there's a good chance I might get kicked out by the security. So I had to rush things through. That is one of the reasons why. Anyhow, that being said, I will be going to the launch event, the Media the Press Day, where Hyundai probably would decorate up the place with a lot of Palisade, a variety, variations, all different sorts of Palisades there. 7-seater, 9-seater, you name it. I should be able to show you all about that. So meet me over there in that video. And also drop in the comment below anything you guys are curious about. And many times, viewers actually pick up some of the details that I just could not. So you guys help me enrich my content. I'm helping you out, you guys are helping me out. So let's do that win-win and keep it going. Anyhow, so let's get back to this interior shot. So I did include that interior shot, right? It is just me standing right there with the lights on, and it's not like I'll be able to open up the door, so I won't be able to show you anything. But I want to take a look at the interior and explain you now. That is the reason why I turned it on, actually. So this is the 9-seater, as I have shown you. And how I know? It's because of that seat right in the middle. And do not be fooled, it's not an armrest. Take a closer look at it. Towards the tip, there is the headrest. Therefore, when folded, you can use it as an armrest. I mean, a creative, a brilliant way that Hyundai came up with. There are 2 large-size cup holders and also wireless smartphone charging pad in the middle with fingerprint recognition system, as well as the C-type charging ports. There are 2 of them. And it shoots out all the way up to 100 watts throughout the Palisade, which is enough power output source for you to run laptops inside the car. So the rest, the steering wheel, we have seen it before from Santa Fe. I think it is the same thing. And the column type shifter attached right behind the steering wheel. 2 thumbs up for that, saving the space. What reasons are there to not like it? I think it is a brilliant way of doing it. So the AC controls and vents, I did cover and see it, and I will include the official photo so we can take a look at the closer look of it. There are 2 types of seat configuration for at least Korean domestic models. So there are 7-seater, which is composed of 2 plus 2 plus 3. So the captain seats in the second row seat. By the way, that is the car that I pre-ordered. And 9-seater, the car that we met today, which is composed of 3 plus 3 plus 3. But the kicker here is that unlike other cars in the market, Palisade still offers crazy amount of trunk space even with the 3rd row seats upright. And that is something that is truly amazing because there are many times you fit people on the 3rd row seat and there just is no luggage space. So sometimes when you load up a car, you have to stack up your luggage in between the seats and the aisle. I mean, if you guys have been there before, you know if you know. Again, Palisade is something that still provides a huge space for the trunk while the 3rd row seat is in use. So let's go take a look at the 2nd row seat. Yep, so it is a black monotone, as you can see. Different interior colors and plastic material that you see at the back of the seat cover as well as where the speakers is. That is actually because it is a pre-production model. So the quality you see, the materials you see, it will be completely different for the final production model. And same thing goes for the speakers on top. And the rest of the design, I would like to tell you. C-type charging ports on both of the seats as well, which supports and shoots out up to 100 watts. And let's move on to the third row seat. When it comes to the third row seat, this is where that pre-production thing comes into a huge play. You can see all that plastic is uncolored and unmatched. It has the wobbly surface somewhat, and the light reflection is not even, as you can see. And that is because, once again, it is a pre-production model. Please do not confuse yourself. The quality is not going to be like this for the final production model. If you guys confuse yourself with this, it only stops me going after these test cars and show you the first look. So please help me out. Do not confuse yourself. Do not leave the comments saying about the plastic quality, all right? And also that two-toned too. All right, so with that being said, drop in the comment below how you guys felt about today's video. Honestly, I do enjoy going after cars and coming up with this ninja-like video, if you will. And once again, any questions about Palisade, be it exterior, interior, and also test drive, that will soon happen. It is supposed to happen soon. So drop all of that in the comment below. I will try to get back to all of your questions as I always do. So that is it for today's video. Thanks for watching CarSceneKorea, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.